That's a nice haul.
Today's recommendation is the steak.
Good things come to those who don't wait around. That's what they say anyway. Knowing my luck, the opposite is probably true for me.
Definitely be something that catches your eye.
I will make you better.
Benny's Adventure Team, assemble!
It's been getting quite busy recently.
Or not.
Welcome. How can I help you?
There's a strange wanderer in your wolfingdom.
My strength still fails me.
Off we go! Fire hazard! I'm going in! Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Animal hypostasis emulation. Stand clear. Animal test 6301.
Let's light it up! Time for a light show!
Freeze, subject.
Let's light it up!
Absorption test.
Rain outlines your fate. Let me read you a verse. Everybody stand back! Let's look!
Swirl, Mark 2.
Adventure time! Off we go!
Master Xingqiu, thank goodness you're finally back.
Oh? Why do I detect an urgency in your voice?
The guild has had a whole string of strange orders in recently. Everyone's been completely caught off guard. Your father gave me specific instructions to ask you to stay and help out if I happen to see you.
I see. Have someone sort the orders by type for now. I'll deal with them myself shortly.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, Master. With you on the job, I can breathe a sigh of relief.
Hey, Xingqiu! Glad you're here. We want to ask you for some information.
Traveler, Paimon, please wait a moment. Shu, I need to entertain some guests. Please continue with your work for the time being. And
Understood, Master Xingqiu. Then I will leave you in peace.
I wasn't counting on finding you here today. What's going on? And how, pray tell, may I be of service?
Xingqiu, have you ever heard of Sunset Vermilionite?
Oh, I see. So you've entered Lady Ningguang's contest as well.
As well? Do you mean...
The truth is, the Feiyun Commerce Guild is in possession of some Sunset Vermilionite, but only one piece. We are holding it on behalf of someone who has asked us to put it up for auction, and a lot of interested parties have already come to us inquiring about the price. At the end of the day, it all comes down to supply and demand. In this case, I'm guessing the final transaction price may be in excess of 500 million mora.
500 million?!
Honestly, I would recommend that you don't bother bidding on this one. The price—
But without any Sunset Vermilionite...
Don't panic. I don't suppose—
Who?
Sea Gazer was once very close to Mountain Shaper, But if I am not mistaken, he has already passed away.
Yes, precisely. I didn't know anyone else knew about him. According to records of drifting clouds, Seagazer once built an abode to store his rarest and most exquisite treasures, among which was some sunset vermilionite. After Seagazer passed, the abode was abandoned, and its location was lost to time. Luckily, I came into possession of a stack of folk history books just recently. They make some oblique references to this lost abode, and after cross-referencing them against each other, I'm now fairly certain that it is situated in the Lisha area.
That's great! But is it really okay for us to just go and take his treasure? Wouldn't it be a little, disrespectful? But
You needn't worry. As far as I understand, Seagazer was very open-minded. Even while he was alive, he wouldn't have let something like this
Open-minded? I have not heard of Seagazer being described in this way before. May I ask where you read that?
Just a rumor I heard out in the mountains. All right then.
There's something about this young lady that reminds me of a good friend of mine. Oh, I almost forgot. Adepti abodes tend to have very ingenious designs, especially when it comes to their defense mechanisms. Plus, it's likely to be crawling with monsters after being abandoned for so long.
okay, we will be. Thanks, Xingqiu.
Add Astro...
Thank you for
Add Astro...
Try something new at the 1 minute.
Let's see. Xingqiu said it should be around here, but Paimon doesn't see anything.
This place was hidden using a special Adepti art. But now that I have removed it, we can inspect the area more closely.
Wow, that's amazing! Yep, let's take another look around. Hey, look! Is that a new Sealy over there? The Sealy got to here and then disappeared. Should we go over and take a look?
Even better than I imagined. It's it's my lucky day! Adventure time! Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh? Goldfish up 2!
Animal test 6308.
Fire hazard!
Ooh, let me open it.
Off we go! Off we go!
What? Weren't we at a waterfall just now? How did we suddenly end up here? Oh, so many clouds. It feels like we're high up in the sky.
I believe this is the abode of that Adeptus. With any luck, the sunset vermilionite we're looking for should be in here.
Really? Let Paimon see. Huh? Look, it's gone and snuck beneath the clouds. And now that Paimon takes a closer look, the rocks and trees here don't seem complete.
These are not real clouds. They are the product of an Adepti art used for spatial partition. If we want to go down, we must first destroy the mechanism that is
All right, then let's do it.
I sense the presence of monsters in this place. I don't know where they are hiding, so we'd better be careful.
Manifest!
Absorption test. Animal test 6308.
Let's light it up!
Enhanced animal module 75. Absorption test.
It appears that we've been taken for intruders. This time, why not allow me to take care of this?
Absorption test.
Everybody stand back!
The fuse is lit.
Let's light it up!
Cryo incarnate! Obey! Unleash! The core of the mechanism is exposed. Now's our chance.
Whoa! We're gonna fall! Is everyone okay? Look! The ceiling has disappeared beneath the clouds again!
It looks like we need to go further down. But before that, let's destroy the guard mechanisms on this level first.
Let's light it up! Everybody stand!
Rain cutter! No, my sword! By ordinance divine! Manifest! Obey!
Animal hypostasis emulation!
Let's light it up!
Manifest! Unleash!
We're gonna fall! This time, we're really gonna fall! Ah! So high! Luckily, there was a pool of water at the bottom. Otherwise, that could have ended very differently. Hey! That ceiling's on the move again! Let's catch up with it! Something looks different about this stone wall. Let's take a closer look.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Do your master's bidding!
Manifest! Obey!
Here come the fireworks! Fire hazard! Let's light it up!
Let me weave you a verse.
Everybody stand back! Let's light it!
Manifest! By ordinance divine!
Enhanced animal module 75. Stand clear. Absorption test.
Witness the power of Gugwa. Rain outlines you. Going in! Obey!
Go Bishop down! That didn't count.
Let's light it up!
Animal test 6308. Stand clear.
Cryo incarnate! Manifest! Rain cutter! Everybody stand back!
Time for a light show. Look, over there! Could that be the sunset vermilionite? Is this it? Is this the sunset vermilionite? It's so huge! That's true, but then again, why isn't it floating?
Plaustrite doesn't float until it's activated. It may look different from most ordinary stones, but it weighs around the same amount. Only after being activated does Plaustrite reveal its true nature, breaking free from the shackles of the mortal realm and ascending up into the heavens.
Wow, Shenhe, you seem to know everything about this.
Only because my master is fond of chatting about these things. The moment she has some time to spare, she'll come. I don't care for her stories most of the time. I certainly didn't expect them to ever come in handy like—
Hold on a sec. Paimon just realized something. If we activate it here, there's no way we'll be able to get it back to the site, right? But if we don't activate it, how else are we gonna lift it? This rock must weigh well over 1,000 pounds.
Don't worry. I can handle the weight quite easily.
Are you sure?
Please don't worry. I'm well aware that a plaustrite sample this large must be highly valuable. My safety.
That's right! Paimon's sure you can handle it and everything, but if something this heavy lands on you, you're gonna get yourself hurt. No matter, you gotta be extra careful when lifting heavy objects.
Is it now? Well then, thank you. I'll go on ahead with the plaustrite. Let's meet at the building site later.
How is Shenhe able to carry that huge rock all by herself? Adepti super strength much? We can't slow down yet. Let's go meet her at the building site.
They're gonna get soaked!
This is great. I feel so relaxed all over. I could almost float away.
Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes. How can she lift that massive rock all by herself? She's got to be one of those Adepti, surely.
Oh, mighty Adeptus, please give me your blessing so that in the coming year I may reap a more bountiful salary.
This is top tier in size and quality, and the condition it's in is quite simply immaculate. I'm going to award you full marks for the Sunset Vermilionite item. May I take your name?
My name isn't important. I'm not even here to compete. I was just delivering this for some other people. They should be here any minute now.
Shenhua and Ningguang's little helper.
Ah, so you're the ones behind this. No wonder. The rarest talent turns in the rarest plastrite specimen. But I have to correct you on one point. It's not helper, it's secretary.
Okay then, Miss Secretary, what do you think of the rock we found?
In truth, it is the finest piece of plastrite we have received so far. If everything goes according to plan, we will use this piece in the foundation of the Jade Chamber, which will enable us to proceed to the next stage of construction. As a side note, Lady Ningguang has rented some dwellings in the nearby area to serve as accommodations for the contestants. Now, please excuse me. As you can see, there is still a lot of work to do on the building site.
Shenhua, Shenhua, just now on the way over, pretty much everyone was singing your praises.
Oh,
What kind of reaction is that? So strange. Aren't you happy about it? Whenever Paimon gets praised, Paimon can't help but hold her head up high and break into a big smug smile.
I've had similar compliments before. They call me an Adeptus, treat me with great deference and respect, as if I'm set apart from the common folk.
Yeah, 'cause that's how Adepti are. At least the ones we've met are pretty unique and reclusive, too. Way different than normal people.
But I am not...
Shenhua?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since we set foot in that abode.
Well, Byron said that there are some makeshift hotels we can use, right? Let's go check in and take a rest.
No need. I simply need to find myself a secluded place in the wilderness to sit.
You can't do that. It's dangerous out in the wild on your own. When you're hungry, you go eat something tasty. And when you're tired, you go lie down in a nice, comfy bed.
Okay.
Great! Now we're talking. Let's head to our hotel.
Hi there. Checking in, are we? You're just in time. We only have 2 rooms left. Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just workers either. Visitors, business people, tea sellers, so business is booming for me today. Very few vacancies. You're lucky you got here when you did.
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready within the hour. Here are your keys. All right. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Shenhua, you should go get some rest. We'll hang around outside until the other room's ready. Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything good to eat around here. Paimon couldn't help but notice one of the guests. Let's buy one for Shenhua, too. She can have it as a midnight snack. Or save it for breakfast tomorrow.
All right. I will head to my room for now. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm a light sleeper. I will hear if you knock on the door. See you.
Hey, isn't that Cloud Retainer? What's she doing here? Let's go and say hi.
One trusts you have met Shen-He. So, are you getting along quite well?
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shen-He too, Cloud Retainer?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the Adepti living today are acquainted with Shen-He to some...
Cool. So, what's her Adeptus name anyway? Calling her Shen-He feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So Paimon's thinking maybe it'd be better if we called her by her Adeptus name instead.
Her Adeptus name? Why, pray tell, would Shen-He have an Adeptus name?
Don't all Adepti have a special title they go—
On this latter point, you are correct. However, Shen-He is human.
Oh, right. Wait, what? Paimon neither! This is a real surprise!
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are...
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first met her. One first found Shen-He by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remains. Being of an ever-vigilant disposition, inside was Shen-He, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting a monster that was the god's remains incarnate.
That sounds so dangerous.
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile, both physically and mentally. That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower, but also to the bloodlust and homicidal instinct with which she was born. One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike.
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shen-He might have...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued, one suspects that Shen-He may have still emerged the victor of the
That's still so dangerous, though! Why was a tiny little kid battling against the wrath of a god in the first place?
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind. And she had experienced her fair share of this, even at a tender age. Indeed, it is one to whom she refers. Shen-He has an extraordinary constitution, making her well adapted to practicing the Adepti arts. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Rather, they grew stronger day by day. Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Consumed by malevolent energy, she is prone to bring harm to those around her. Such is the magnitude of the danger this poses, that her soul must be bound with red ropes to keep her homicidal instinct at bay. The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her somewhat inexpressive. It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shen-He's path has crossed with yours, please be sure to treasure the gift that fate has given you.
Oh, now Paimon gets it. You came out here to check up on Shen-He because you were worried about her, didn't you?
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. The truth is that while Liyue Harbor may seem peaceful today, Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. Well, One is most curious to observe how she will respond to the coming storm. If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. Let us conclude our conversation here for today. One has occupied enough of your time, and night is approaching.
So, Shenhua isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti. Hey, so, Shenhua...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you. So I went outside to check and caught sight of my master. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me. After all, master is... very talkative.
Sorry, Shenhua. Paimon had you down as an Adeptus this whole time, but it turns out Paimon was wrong.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an Adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real Adepti, too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an Adeptus or a human isn't the important thing.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title friend very much.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list. But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the progress is going. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already... Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Here's one for you, Shenhua. Try it! They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Look! The Jade Chamber is floating into the sky! But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Bywin! And hey, Beidou! And hey! Person Paimon doesn't know?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its top.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment. I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
Beidou? You're joining the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of Sunset Vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Greetings.
These 2 are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine. And this is, sorry, not sure we've met.
Shenhe. I am their friend.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew. Miss Yoon is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed. To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plastrite required. Wow! So it looks like the three of us are competitors now. Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help him win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. What do you think? Sounds great, but how does that change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yoon. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, yep, how'd I do?
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Su Ling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, by the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang Yunjin? I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment. So, ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it. The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation. This is great. I feel so relaxed all over. I could almost float away.
Join
Find shelter, quick! Oh, we're not going to make it!
Would Trace a go?
Make my escape.
How will the Sakoku decree affect Vat?
I'm sure the Kamisato clan will be fine.
How will the Sakoku decree affect that?
I'm sure the Kamisato clan will be fine. I'm sure the Kamisato clan will be fine.
What a view. How about a quick break so I can stretch?
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Of course I have.
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon. Sorry. My brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. So, you're here to ask about Wonder Cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade Chamber. The types of ore needed to make Wonder Cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium. If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions. It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier. I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff. Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation also takes place on that mountain. I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there. I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by Adepti.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool! A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite!
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work! Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place!
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world. And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air.
I really like this story, but I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with...
I think it's a great story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! There should be enough Star Splinter Iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
I think I saw a village on our way here. Master Zhang said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Guess we're on our own here. Shenhua, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Shenhe.
Shenhe. You're alive. The rumors were true. So, all these years? I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. But I think you can find some information in the village. This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhua?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Okay, then let's see what we can find in this village.
Hola Ainhoa, ¿qué tal?
Huh. What's this? So, Shenhe is the divine damsel? Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an adeptus, and she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have noticed it earlier. According to this text, the divine damsel from the opera was actually the daughter of the loving couple. And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster. Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that ghastly situation. She was forced into it. Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his... Ooh, let me open it. So it seems that Shenhe's father thought he was summoning a benevolent deity using a magic incantation. But in fact, he summoned an evil god's remains, which took the form of a monster. His obsessive yearning for his deceased wife led to a terrible tragedy. The villagers moved away in fear, without ever learning the truth. And now, this place is deserted. Still, I do wonder what the connection is between Shenhe and Mingjun.
We've looked everywhere, but still no mention of Subrosium. Let's have a look over there.
Ooh, will we find any firework materials in here?
This is it! So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tianheng at dusk, and we'll find us some Subrosium! Let's go back and tell Shenhe the new...
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize to you.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate, like the Adepti. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is, I feel nothing at all.
It must have been so tough for you.
Shenhe! We're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shenhua, look! This tells us how to find Subrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake.
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of the details in the
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me...
It's okay. I like your version.
But,
My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become part of human society. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others, just like the girl in the opera. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in this way.
Don't worry. I believe you will. In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it for yourself yet.
Shenhua! Yunjin! Cut the chit-chat! Let's go! We can't let someone else beat us to it!
Ow! Where did that come from? Guard down. Time to act.
About the ride in Shogun.
You mean me? Perhaps it's because I'm the Electro Archon's familiar.
What? Like Dvalin is to Barbados? Huh. Never would have guessed by looking at you.
It sounds like you'd be more persuaded if you saw me in my fox form. In your dreams.
Aww.
More curious than my appearance is the fact that she and I don't see each other anymore, wouldn't you say? A nation to last for all eternity is a dream that she and I both share. But I don't think that's the same thing as complete stasis. At some point, she started going down a path that became increasingly difficult for me to join her on. You know, A never said goodbye to me before she stepped into the plane of euthymia. Perhaps it's just my wishful thinking, but I think she did this deliberately, as her way of keeping our friendship eternal. By neither saying goodbye nor seeing me again, our relationship will remain forever how it was. Since we've embarked on two very different paths to eternity, I can either continue to maintain the status quo or do whatever it takes to bring her back on track. I have chosen the latter because if stubbornly isolating herself in the plane of euthymia is her idea of eternity, then my duty as her eternal familiar is to drag her back out of her own head and into the real world.
Aw, Miko.
I'm only telling you this so you can properly understand my plan. Could you possibly spare the sentimentality for the time being? Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Time for Anti-Raiden Shogun Training Phase 2.
There's a part 2?
Let's light it up! I can no longer hold back. No, my sword!
Animal hypostasis emulation! Absorption test!
Rain outlines your fate. No, my sword! I'm going in! Off we go! Ha! Witness the power of Gugwa!
Fire hazard!
Teamwork is dream!
A festive reprise!
Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter! No, my sword!
Time for a light show!
You did quite admirably. I could see your determination and your hard work.
So, do you think...
How do I put this? You're no match for her at all.
Wait, what? So all of this was a complete waste of time?
You are the most important part of the plan. I know what I'm doing. You don't... Speaking of, Traveler, what do you think of the Resistance Army's chances? You're absolutely right. Perhaps they occasionally best the Shogun's army in open battle. But when they face the Raiden Shogun herself, considering even their visions have been taken from them and embedded in the statue, they're ultimately quite helpless.
You don't have to be so blunt. The Traveler's the captain of Swordfish too, you know.
I don't mean to belittle them. It is precisely because of their helplessness, because their visions have been taken from them, that their will is all the more precious. In short, if everything goes according to plan, they may yet prove to be helpful. Oh, goodness, is that the time? I have another guest to receive today. We can talk—
All of this sudden, you're entertaining guests? Paimon's really struggling to understand how you work.
Okay, we can talk here. You asked me about the plan. In fact, I've been mulling it over for quite a long time. Before one makes a plan, what is the most important thing one must do?
Don't know.
You must understand the situation you are facing. The Vision Hunt Decree was obviously devised as a means of manipulating the Shogun. The ones behind it knowing full well her susceptibility as a puppet, with a single-minded focus on eternity. Yes, this is the strongest piece of evidence we have to go on. Now, we also know that every aspect of the Vision Hunt Decree's promulgation and execution has been enthusiastically spearheaded by the Tenryou Commission from the outset.
Ayaka was saying that every time they submitted a petition against the Vision Hunt Decree, the Tenryou and Kanjo commissions would veto it straight away with no...
Yes, it's all too clear that both the Tenryou and Kanjo commissions are in some form of collusion with the Fatui. Foolish humans. Thus, the current situation is that our Fatui antagonist is still at large, has the two rogue commissions wrapped around their finger, and is distributing delusions from the shadows. Unfortunately, given that said antagonist is under the protection of two commissions and the Raiden Shogun, we would be rather hard-pressed to track them down.
So, what should we do?
It will be easier for us to start with someone from Inazuma. So my plan is to incite rebellion in the Tenryou Commission.
Rebellion? What are you talking about? After everything you just said, it sounds like the Tenryou Commission has rebelled already.
When I say rebellion, I don't mean betraying the shogunate. I mean inciting a certain someone to betray the Tenryou Commission. If we manage to convince her, I'm quite sure we'll be able to get you another audience with the Raiden Shogun. I'll give you a clue. She's currently in charge of the Shogun's army. She visits the shrine at this time every month, and she is our guest today. She also appears to be standing right behind you.
Don't move a muscle. You've got some nerve showing up here in the shrine when there's an active warrant for your arrest. Don't even think about trying anything. Surrender now. You're coming with me to headquarters.
Affirmative.
It seems that you're forgetting. This is the Grand Narukami Shrine. Use of force here is strictly forbidden. Before you proceed, which of you would like to face criminal charges for dishonoring the Shogun?
Ugh. Guji-ai, please tell me you are not sheltering a wanted criminal here.
We are just friends. I don't see what sheltering has to do with it. Tell your subordinates to leave. We have things to discuss.
All of you outside.
As you wish.
Guji-ai, I'm a little curious. Does it not also dishonor the Shogun to hide a wanted criminal at her grand shrine?
You're the same as ever, Kujo-Sara. No one can match you when it comes to loyalty to the Shogun.
As a servant, loyalty to the Shogun is my duty. And as a warrior, I dedicate my life to following the way of the Shogun.
Even though she will one day seize your vision too?
The Vision Hunt Decree is the Shogun's chosen course, and I shall not question it.
Oh, it's tragic. Such wholehearted devotion rendered meaningless by circumstance. Have you been kept in the dark? Or are you the only one left in the light?
Lady Guji, I need you to be direct. Tell me exactly what you mean.
The Vision Hunt Decree is a trap. Part of a Fatui plot to bring Inazuma to its knees. And your masters, the Kujo clan of the Tenryou Commission, they're the ones keeping the truth from reaching the Shogun.
You're saying the Kujo clan betrayed the Shogunate?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Guji-ai, your allegation is not only dangerous, but ridiculous. The Tri-Commission has served the Shogun since ancient times, and remains absolutely loyal to this day. Ever since I was adopted by the Kujo clan, I have seen and heard nothing but pure devotion toward the Shogun. At every level of the Tenryou Commission, especially from the head of the clan, Kujo Takayuki. He reveres the Muso no Hitotachi more than anyone. My own respect for the Shogun pales in comparison to his. How could he ever even dream of acting against the Shogun?
3 days. Come back here in 3 days, and I will show you the evidence. As a Guji, there's one thing I know very well. People believe whatever they want to believe. Some things you do not see, simply because you do not wish to look. And so, it falls to me to place the truth before your eyes.
3 days? I'll be here. But if I don't see any evidence, I will demand a formal apology for slandering the Kujo clan. He will have to come with me.
Wonderful. Then I'll see you in 3 days. I look forward to it very much.
That was so scary! Paimon wasn't expecting to run into Kujosara, but Miko, you mentioned evidence of the Tenryou Commission's betrayal. Is that all in hand and good to go, or...?
Why are you always asking so many questions? Of course not. I just had to say something because I clearly wasn't convincing her.
Not entirely unexpected.
As plans go, changing the deity's mind is a huge gamble to begin with. We can't expect to be in control of every last detail when we're facing off against a god, can we?
Okay, but what are we gonna do, though?
If we want to get our evidence, we're going to need some help. Now, come with me. We must awaken the professional.
Off we go! Adventure time! Off we go!
That toy Tanuki just turned into a human! What's going on? Paimon's never seen one of these before. Not a Tanuki. I'm a Muchina. I'm so tired. If I don't get enough sleep, it'll... is this the professional you were talking about?
She is a member of the Shiumatsuban, a genuine, bona fide ninja.
Oh, wow! A ninja? So was that one of those legendary ninja transformation Anyway, what's the Shiumatsuban?
It belongs to the Yashiro Commission, a secret unit under Kamisato Ayato. Now, Kamisato Ayato and the Yashiro Commission are neutral parties, so I have no right to give orders to the Shiumatsuban. However, convincing their most chronically lazy member to help us is well within my abilities. Here's what I need you to do. Go into town and find evidence of the Tenryou Commission's betrayal. It would not be appropriate for me to be seen there much.
You make it sound so simple, but...
Oh, I thought you would have figured it out by now. For a complete outsider, probing the inner workings of the Tenryou Commission is nigh on impossible. But since the 3 commissions work together to serve the Shogun, they have a close relationship. Someone from one of the other commissions might have an easier job of figuring out what they're up to. Now you're following me. The Shogun's army haven't given up on their search for you yet. But with the help of this Shiumatsuban ninja, I'm sure you'll be able to rendezvous with your friends. Don't forget, we're on a tight schedule here. Be sure to bring back the evidence in good time.